Mhm.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone, or good evening from, even good morning from the people all around the world. Today's session is about data science and business intelligence. We are so excited to have Barbora for us today to talk about her experiences and prospect of data science and business intelligence. And she's from Czechia or Czech Republic. So I just without any further discussions, I just give it to Barbora to start from here. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you very much. So hi Hamid, hi everyone, and good afternoon, morning, evening. It depends where are you coming from. So as Hamid said, my name is Barbora and I am from the Czech Republic. And I am really very excited. I was asked by your professor to make a short introduction to the data science from the business perspective. The goal of this short session from my perspective is to tell you about the data science job journey, at least from my point of view. The reason is because you have this good luck and you can study this amazing field. And I will tell you about my journey, where I have the experience from jumping into this business directly, because when I was studying, unfortunately, there was no such a faculty or such a field or university available. I have a financial background from the West Bohemian University, and a few years ago, I have graduated on the University of New York in Prague, and I reached the MBA. And currently, I am employed in automotive company called Vite Automotive, which produces the lock systems for almost all cars and trucks. But there I have resigned, and I will start my new career at telecommunication company now from the 1st December. From 2018, I am also engaged in a leadership synergy community as, let's say, external consultant for the data science. So, where, when, and how my data science journey started. Thanks to my financial studies, I got my first work with data in 2005, which was provided a data analyst in controlling. And since then, the data has accompanied me throughout my whole professional life, when my efforts resulted in 2017 in winning the analytical competition at Vite Automotive. And this led me to certify big data from the University of Michigan on Coursera, which is the educational platform. And then there are some attempts to work with selected software. And since 2018, I have once become an IT team member in Vite, where I work on implementation, the data science, as work on AI and business intelligence projects. At the same time, I started publishing own e-learning courses, which are available on different educational platforms, like you probably know Udemy or Indian e-learning platform Skills Cafe or LearnFly. And we do that with my colleague under the Elderberry Data brand. And from 2017, I work on projects for the Leadership Synergy community as a consultant in the field of data analysis, where we mainly focus on the product strategy, where we use the machine learning and business intelligence tools to help companies, I would say small companies, with their product strategy. So which markets and which products they should focus on to be competitive. And in 2019, the team where I was a member won the analytical competition called Data Cup 2019. And together with my colleagues, we are now finishing almost our book, which will be probably called AI for Managers or Introduction to AI for Managers, but it will be in the Czech language. The last challenge is I am a trainer for Knime company. So the Knime analytics platform producer, which has the headquarters in Switzerland. And I focus on the training, or the training I am doing is related to the data visualization by using this amazing software. And I will talk about this software later on. So this was about my journey shortly. And now it's time to introduce you software I use in my professional life. I tried different platforms and still working with them for my projects. And I would like to introduce 4 of them. So you definitely will know them. The first is Microsoft Excel. Second is Python. Third is Microsoft Power BI. And the last and the best one is Knime Analytics platform. So maybe I will now introduce those softwares, and you of course are aware about all these things, but I would like to do some kind of summarization of them. So Microsoft Excel, this is a place where almost all data analysis and also the data analytics starts. Microsoft Excel offers high stability for Microsoft, of course. It also ensures the development of the software. It is highly intuitive and user-friendly. It has this compatibility with other Microsoft software, of course. And what is the main advantage, I would say, is the high qualification of users, because everyone working with data know or should know Excel. However, it is highly limited with amount of data, and if you have more data, it is very slow, and more than 1 million observations, so the rows, it is not possible to have in Excel. It also doesn't enable automation or only limit with macros, but it's not automation how, for instance, Python or Knime can do. And the deploy of or in Microsoft Excel is not possible. The other disadvantage, of course, is it's not free of charge, which those following free softwares are free of charge, or at least some versions. From my perspective, as I have this experience, Microsoft Excel is very useful for doing, let's say, ad hoc analysis, which is or which will not be repeated, because you can very quickly understand data, you can very easily transform them, and you can really see what's in there. And then you can continue, for instance, in Python or in Knime to do predictions if it is required. But if you do some ad hoc analysis, which won't be repeated, I recommend Microsoft Excel, of course, with limited number of rows or of data. This is exactly how we did the project. This is, I'm sorry, this is in Czech, the labels and so on. But in Excel, for instance, we did two main projects. It was the prediction of the sales of bad products and the car battery products. And it's exactly the procedure I said. We did it in Excel because we had all sources data in Excel from different web portals and from the customers and from the suppliers and so on. We collect them. Then we did some basic transformation. We try to understand what's in there. And then we use the Python or Knime for prediction. And then we took these prediction numbers back to Excel or Power BI and then make the results, let's say, by using visualization tools like some charts and plots. Also, when I did this internal analytical competition, it was also done in Excel and the Power Query. I don't know if you know Power Query, but Power Query is some additional add in Excel, which is free of charge, but you have to have, I guess, Microsoft Excel version 2016 and more to have this Power Query, which is kind of similar to Power BI, but without the charts and plots nice, which Power BI offers. The reason we picked this Excel, we had a limited time, and Excel honestly is the fastest from the user perspective. I do not mean fast from technical point of view, it's definitely worst, but for the users it is fast because it is easy and we are just used to using that. This was the Excel. If you have any comments, I will be happy to, if you can share your, let's say, experience with those tools, just tell me, interrupt me. If not, I can continue. Python. Python is a programming language which is mainly used for AI, for machine learning and deep learning problems. Python, from my perspective, is very fast, it's powerful. It plays very well with other software. It runs everywhere and it is quite easy to learn. Important is it's open, so it's free of charge, and Python can be easy to pick up whether you are a first-time programmer or you are experienced with other programming languages. But of course, it needs to have time to learn it because I would say the learning curve at the very beginning is quite slow. But then when you, let's say, change a bit your mind in your brain and starting to understand the programming language, then it goes very rapidly fast and then it is really easy. But the start is quite, let's say, slow. So it is nice tool, and I like it, and I have done projects in Python. As I said, it is programming language, so it is not so intuitive as another software mentioned here. Also, the deploy is not easy for a standard data analyst, and therefore, in most cases, you need some IT engineer at the end to set up, for instance, the server environment to really have all those predictions, let's say, online available. The most interesting project from my career was detecting people wearing and not wearing the safety clothing, especially the helmets in a stock, where is a high probability of injury. You can see here the image. This is me in the stock, and I'm not wearing the helmet on my head. So we need to have some system or some algorithm which can detect that I do not have helmet on my head and there is problem. So we trained the neural network with Keras, and as a backend engine, we had a TensorFlow to detect people with or without helmets. This project has been developed for 1 year. It was done in Python, and I did it in the Spider environment, which is a part of Anaconda distribution, and it is free of charge, and it is very intuitive. We have trained the neural network on 100,000 images, which we then, of course, had to split, let's say, okay and not okay. So okay, the person has helmet, not okay, person doesn't have helmet. And we have camera in the stock, which has the motion detection. So if someone comes, the camera make a photo and send this to server, where is uploaded already trained model. And the next action is then it evaluates if the person has the helmet or not, based on that save the image into a certain folder, like okay and not okay, and then can follow any action. So we, for instance, have the CSV, which is filled by the observations, like each row is one person which has no helmet, and then we create some, for instance, histogram or some column chart. Also, it is possible, we did it, but we don't use that, print it to PDF, the image with the timestamp and date stamp, just to really know that someone was there without helmet in a certain time if something happened. Next step then is to make action like some sound alarm warning for the person not wearing the helmet. So this is a Python example. If you have any question, feel free to ask. If not, I will continue with Power BI.
I have a question. So for how did you connect your Python code to a camera or a warning device? So is it like it was a computer engineer who helped you, or is I mean, it's easy to do for a simple Python programmer?
Honestly, help me. My colleague helped me, and it is very easy because it is free line code. You just need to know the address of the camera. It's this API, or I don't know exactly. I think it's API of the camera, because the camera has connection to server, and the camera, when make a photo, then it sends to server. And now I'm not talking about this helmet detection or not. It just make a photo and send to server. And therefore we have this address of the camera, and in Python really is enough to just say, I don't exactly remember the code, but it was like something calling the camera. So it is directly connected either to camera or connected to the server folder. But when you connect to camera directly, then it is faster.
Nice. Thank you.
Thank you.
Professor, I have a question on this, like helmet detection. So can it happen like that now during COVID? Some people are wearing masks, some are not.
Yeah.
Can this programming be replicated in detecting whoever is not wearing mask? And that motion detection, like taking the image of the person who is entering into that room, can it be replicated in the retail store? Like whether one customer is happy or not, but looking at his or her facial expression. So can this be done?
Yes, definitely. For instance, this mask in COVID, I know in Germany, in the shops, it is already there. So if you come into the shop without the mask, then there is really the sound, and I don't know exactly what it says, but it says something like, attention, you don't have the mask, you can't go into the shop. So it is definitely possible. And the second one, this smiling and or sad faces, it is possible. For this, I guess, is the library image AI is called, and it can not only, let's say, because it depends how you train the model. Because for instance, the first step was detect the person, because even we have motion detection, then sometimes it makes images without persons because something just moved there. I don't know, some paper or something like this. So the first step was to detect the person, and then the second step was detect the helmet. Yeah, and I think this is exactly this example with either a mask or these faces. And image AI library, I know it can detect the faces. So from my perspective, first thing I would do is to detect the face, and it can cut the face. And then, of course, you just will have those 2 or 3, I don't know how many mimics exist, yeah, but then you would maybe have 3 classes, like neutral, positive, and negative.
Yeah, thank you.
You are welcome. Thank you for the question. Great. So Power BI, Microsoft Power BI, based on Gartner, it is the best visualization tool. It is very user-friendly. I would say it is more user-friendly than Excel. And the desktop version is free of charge, and it is very intuitive, especially for the Excel users. It enables to do visualization of data from different sources, but also make a data transformation. And I guess there will be similar number of people being able to work with Power BI as with Excel in the future. So there will be a high qualification of users as well. Power BI server serves mainly for data collection. So you can really collect or connect the Power BI to different sources like Excel, CSV, or SAP Business Warehouse, or SAP HANA, which are these ERP systems, or to JSON, to SQL databases, and so on. It enables also data transformation. And of course, the main purpose of Power BI is to visualize data by using different charts and plots and create a beautiful dashboards, which are interactive, and important is which are shareable. The shareable means you can share the reports via either the file, which is kind of, I would say, like Excel. Yeah, you create Excel and send to someone, and he or she has the Excel available as well. But in these days, it's not what we are searching for. We need some interactive and really on-time data. And for this, we can use ProCloud account or Power BI server, and also the mobile application. So there are free versions of Power BI. The first is Power BI Desktop, which is free of charge, and you do there and all these data collection, data transformation, and create the dashboard. And then if you want to share it, then here is this Pro version, which is the Power BI Desktop Plus. If you pay monthly fee, which is or was a year ago around $10 per month per user, then you can use more graphics, so more charts and plots, and you can share it with the other Pro users, or you can also create, it's called like public link. So you create the public link which you can send to anyone, and anyone can, let's say, access your dashboard as a web application. And they are also then available in the mobile or on the cell phone applications available. If you have, I guess it is paid version, but if you have the Microsoft 365, then I guess it is already included in there, so you don't need to pay anything. And the last one is Power BI Server, which is fee software, so you have to pay it, and the yearly rate is what we try to learn is $40,000 per year. So this is really for companies, for big companies, and it enables the cooperation on the data visualization in the company. So it is secured. Yeah, if you use the Power BI Pro version, it's not secured, and anyone who gets the link then has access to your data or to those dashboards. But the Power BI server, you really have, I would say, only within the company. Power BI is a very nice tool. I like it. Again, I like all of them, but from my perspective, it is the best tool to create a storytelling, because if you do data analysis or prediction, machine learning, deep learning, anything of this, you always, or the most important is to have the value from data. And to have value from data, you need to, I don't want to say sell it to your managers, but somehow you need to present this value. You need to share what's important from data. And for this serves the data visualization. And the Power BI is really in 2019, and I don't want to go through the result, but I'm sorry, just once again. Yeah. The topic of this data cup was thematic because in 2019, we as a Czech Republic celebrated the beating the communism. And it was called as a summit revolution, which was 30 years ago. And we had to choose topic related to this milestone in the Czech history, and we decided to work on the divorcing rate. So we wanted to analyze what would have happened if the revolution would not happen, if this historical milestone had any influence on the marriages and divorces in the Czech population, and how the prediction is for the next years. So for this purpose, we work with more than 100 public data sets, mainly in CSV and Excel files, and then we use the Power BI for storytelling. And I can show you just the application. It's not important, let's say the result, but the application is like that. You have some first page, and you can create here your next pages. Yeah, so for instance, we can check the divorce rate development in history from 1969, and then you can have these let's say beautiful charts. Yeah, and this application I am in is the Pro version. But if I go back to the slide and click on this image, I will be in the web application. So this link, if I would now send to any one of you, you all can access this dashboard via the web application. So you can't change it, you can't change the data, but you can see the results. Yeah, so, and you can, like on the internet, just click on the next page, and so on. But it is quite slow, so my Wi-Fi is tired probably. Yeah.
I appreciate if you email me the link later so student can play this, because I think it's in English, many of it. So
no,
it would be
not just, I would say half of it. No.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. But of course, I can send it. That's no problem. Yeah. So this is this is the Power BI, and just check the time, which is quite Okay. So let's move on. If any questions.
I mean, we have about today's session. I mean, the whole of the class is 1 hour and 15 minutes. So you can just even take whole of it. So
perfect.
I don't think there's a time issue.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you. Yeah, great. So this was this velvet divorce, very say related to our Czech history. And this is only an image because I can't share it. These are from the business, from with the automotive, where we monitor the internal audits in the company. And here are some, let's say, not successful audits. So it is also a report. And the beauty in this is that people doing the audit go through the production, have the cell phone, and there is the there is application. And they just click on this is not okay, this is okay, and so on. Then the data from the web application are transferred to MySQL database, and Power BI is connected to MySQL database and have data available, let's say, every minute. And then we have the report really on time or real time. So this is the beauty in comparison with Excel, because in Excel it is always static and you need to update it, let's say, manually. So Power BI is a really nice tool and I like it very much. However, the machine learning and deep learning is not the main focus of Power BI, and therefore I am bringing the Knime, which is from my perspective, or which from my perspective covers all mentioned features of the different software. Knime is open source platform. It is very intuitive. It continuously integrates new developments. It is very easy to learn. And in comparison with Python, it is codeless environment, so you don't need to have programming language skills. Also, it enables easy deployment with Knime server and Knime web portal. This Knime web portal is very similar to Power BI portal, and you will see it in a couple of minutes. So what for serves Knime? Knime will help you with data collection, data transformation, data visualization, so using different graphs, plots, creating dashboards, statistics. Of course, the main purpose is to create the mesh or to do the machine learning and deep learning for data prediction. It also has already integrated Keras and TensorFlow. So for instance, these helmets I did in Python, it would be possible to do it in Knime as well. Then it enables or offers the automation of data science processes and data analysis. And for sharing the results or just part of it, you can use the Knime Hub, which is the public space or your own space where are also the public folders. And for the business sharing, to have really data secured, it's like the Power BI server, there is a Knime server and the Knime web portal. I use Knime, or I split Knime into 4 fields, but of course, maybe it's not that, but it is how I feel it. The first is data analysis, the second automation, then machine learning, and data visualization. I'm not saying it is separated. Of course, everything is the whole, or it builds the whole data science process. But of course, you can use Knime without machine learning or deep learning. You can use it just to do some data analysis, like in this example, where you do some basic data transformation, some splitting, some joining, and at the end you have some, let's say, bar chart with some result. So this is the data analyzing. Then is there this automation. So for automation, in Knime serves different nodes and so-called flow variable options. In the Knime environment, you can work with variables and they perform the complex operations for us as part of our workflows. You can store useful values in variable on an ongoing basis and then use them in a workflow nodes whenever you need. A variable defines a name, data type, and value. And for example, just a simple example, the city variable can have a string data type. So it is a text string and a value, for instance, Paris or Tokyo. Or the age variable can have the data type integer, so the number, and it can have value, for instance, 60. And then you can use those 4 variables into different nodes to automate your process. So, and of course, the main purpose of the Knime Analytics platform or the Knime et al. Is the machine learning and deep learning. So how the machine learning process in Knime is proceeded or how it looks like. The principle of machine learning works in such a way that for all existing data records, for example, let's talk about the customers or visitors or products, we choose one target variable, which is label or called dependent variable, which is usually marked as Y. And it can be in binary form, multiple classes form, or in continuous number in case of regression problem. So for example, the binary is whether the customer left us or he or she is still shopping with us. In case of multi-class, can be, for example, different classes of our customers. And for the regression problem, the continuous number are usually prices or number of pieces or earned sales or profit and so on. And the model learns what combination of attributes in the lead to the class or the number. So in Knime, for this purpose, we use the learner node, which is here. And based on the trained data, and then the predictor node, based on the tested data, then let's say, test the model and evaluate the model by using the scorer node. And the model, which is learned from the historical data, can then be easily used to predict a class or a number for a new record, which is here called as a deployment. And this is done by using exported model from the previous, so from the learner node, and using the predictor. Then you get the data output and you can see the prediction of the new records. And the last, but not the less important, is maybe the most important, is the visualization in Knime. Knime Analytics platform offers different chart sections. There are available, for instance, local section or this JavaScript, or you can install extension, for instance, the Plotly library. The most powerful from my perspective, as I have experienced, are those JavaScript charts, because then they enable the configuration in the configuration dialog in comparison with the local charts, which you probably know if you work with Knime. And moreover, you can configure some features of the chart in the interactive view, in the view controls option. And what is the main advantage is that they enable sharing them via the Knime web portal and that they are interactive. And you can create the dashboard. This is, I would say, the main advantage. Any questions here? If not, I will then introduce you those two containers. No, okay. So we are still in Knime, and Knime offers so-called metanodes and components, which are containers which make your workflows better organized and enable to reuse them. So you can do some, let's say, transformation of data. You will use different nodes, also different actions within your data science process, and you can wrap them up and make them reusable for your future work or for your colleagues or friends. The metanode, there are some difference. Something is similar, but something is different. So the metanode help building cleaner and structure nested workflow. Metanodes are used to clean up the workflow, especially when you have a lot of nodes and the workflow is, let's say, overloaded. So then we should wrap up the nodes into the metanode in a logical way. So we merge nodes which logically belongs to each other. Metanodes are gray nodes, and I will show it in a couple of minutes. And they look like a single node, although they contain many nodes or also many metanodes. Besides keeping your workflow tidy up, or let's say, another goal of the metanodes is you can reuse them. Components has this feature as well, but it has much more functions, and the most important is that you can share them, those components, via Knime web portal, and they are interactive. The components enable you to collapse into the component different charts and plots from the JavaScript section, and you can build your dashboard, which you can then share via the web portal. So it is very similar to the Power BI. So deployment. Besides the Knime Analytics platform, which you probably know, here is the Knime server, which is necessary to have available to be able to deploy the components via the Knime web portal, which is paid. When I was talking about Power BI, it was 40,000 euros. I guess it was euros per year. Knime is around 17,000 euros per year. So again, it is for company. It is of course not for a single user. And the Knime server mainly enables to deploy the data science applications and services. In case of sharing the visualization and the results, the Knime server can deploy the components, which are then accessible and shareable and reusable for your managers, teams, colleagues, and friends in the web application called the Knime web portal. So those are those three, say, platforms: analytics platform, server, and Knime web portal. And I will try to show you how it can look like. So if you know Knime Analytics platform, this is Knime Analytics platform, and here is some basic workflow. We have here data set iris, which is very popular. It is iris dataset is about the iris, which is the flower features and free type of those flowers. And already here is the metanode. So if I open the metanode, here I have wrapped up so those five nodes, which are mainly for the data preparation. So here I prepared some data, and here is the dashboard, and this is the component. If I open it, the component here contains those plots, so the bar chart, and 4 conditional box plots. And here are also some text, let's say output widget, which enables you to write manually text you want, for instance, some header or some comment. So this is the component. And if I click on this button, the composite view will be opened, and the composite view enables us to set up the dashboard. So in the visual layout here, we set up the dashboard as we wish. Yeah, it is really up to you or up to user to just play with the dashboard, like changing the visual elements or the places where each of the plot will be placed and so on. And then if you have all these things done and you have the license for the Power BI server, then you can deploy the whole workflow to the server. And from server, you can get it to the web portal. And the web portal then looks like this. So this is the Knime web portal. And here are those charts which are in the composite view. I have just shown you in the Knime Analytics platform. And this is, as I said, it is very similar to Power BI account. Yeah, so this is very, very similar, the environment. So this is, from my perspective, very important feature of the Knime. Of course, if the company pays for it, because in Python, it is very difficult to do the deploy. You really need to have some data engineer who prepare the environment for you if you are not able to do that. Or and the Excel, in Excel it is simply not possible to deploy anything. So both Knime web portal and Power BI enables you to share any result with your colleagues. And the beauty is that colleagues or the managers do not need to open a certain software. They just get the link and they have it as a web application. The last, maybe what is important, and it is that Knime work well with others. So Knime, or in Knime, they know they are not alone, and they take the competition as a partners. So for instance, in our case, we have already bought the Power BI server. So we can do the basic data manipulation and some predictions in Knime, and then transfer those data into Power BI. So that there are those connections also to Tableau or another software, and I think the QLIC is there as well. So, sorry for the check. So thank you for your attention. And now it's space for you to ask any questions. And if I know the answer, I will be happy to answer it.
Thank you, Barbara. I wait for a student to have their questions. By the way, you're the second Czech Republican Czechian lecturers at Clark. The first one I know is Sigmund Freud, that you see he's a statue behind me. He was born in Czech Republic. You're the second one that I know. So I just wait for students. If they have questions, then I ask mine.
Okay. So,
hi, Barbara. This will be. So I'm a data analytics student in Clark. So your presentation was so great. So I was able to relate it so much into my studies. The concept of Knime is something new which I'm hearing about. So it's like more into an automation tool, which using Python, we do machine learning stuffs. So can we also do similar kind using the Knime tool?
You mean for the machine learning?
Yeah.
Yes, definitely, yes. In Knime Analytics platform, there is, it's not time to go really deeply into the, let's say, train this software, but in this node repository, there is this analytics section and mining section, and here are all machine learning and deep learning algorithms you can use. What is maybe important if you are really new to Knime, then in the Knime Explorer, in the local space, because if you open it, it should look like this, yeah, your space. And in the local space are example workflows. And here are already, let's say, workflows prepared with the machine learning. So maybe I can open this churn prediction just to show you how it looks like, the machine learning, and then you can, inspire yourself to do this simple churn prediction by using the decision tree. Yeah, so here are described the steps you should proceed when you are doing any machine learning problem. So as I said, Knime offers not only the basic like this decision tree or linear regression, but there are also the neural networks, and you really do not need to code anything. The Keras is already integrated there. You just need to install some extensions, but everything you need to know about Knime, then Knime has beautiful web pages, where is a blog, where is the Knime Hub, and really people help there. It's something like Stack Overflow with Python.
Yeah, got it. It's interesting to know about Knime. And look, so other softwares like Tableau, which we have the educational freeware, so we are using that functionality, like we are experiencing with that. And similarly for Knime, do we have any like free trial or something which we can do, or is it an purchase software?
No, this version is free of charge, this Knime Analytics platform. So if you just go to knime.com, there is the download button, let's say, and you can download it free. Paid version is only the Knime server. Yeah, so it's like knime.com, and here will be, I think, download button. You just need to select if you have Windows or Mac, and that's it. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much. It was very useful. I'll try to explore around this.
Perfect. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. Okay.
Hello, Barbara. How are you?
Hello. Fine. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm also a data analytics student, and as my colleague mentioned, like Ruby mentioned, like this Knime is really new to us. Like, is there any certification course which we can do to like further explore more about this Knime? As we are very much familiar with the Python, which we used in our coursework, but I don't have any such knowledge about the Knime.
Yeah, about the Knime, regarding the learning, you can go either to learning here, and there are also some free courses. Yeah,
okay.
But it's to try to, let's say, search for it. So it's I think it has to be here, the learning events, in events, I guess. And then there are several courses, and for instance, now on Thursday, there is a course regarding Jupyter Notebook, Python, and Knime integration. So here are different courses, and you can here also, select. And if it's here free, somewhere should be written free, then it should be free of charge. I think those webinars are free of charge. Or if you know Udemy, then on Udemy are different Knime courses. I have there one as well, but it's not, I don't want to do any promotion here, but directly Knime has own course, which is free of charge, and I think it is around 5 hours. Okay. So if you go to Udemy and search for Knime, really from, let's say, the company Knime, then there is one course free of charge available.
Okay, thank you so much. And like the presentation was really helpful. Like you walked through all the different visualization tools that we're working now. So it was very much related to our field.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you once again.
Thank you too. Okay.
Very cool.
I can't understand. I can't hear
Yeah,
you.
me neither. Could you say
Huh?
again?
No.
We cannot hear you, so.
No.
Okay, Barbora, can I proceed now then?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So one question to Knime. I'm working on to develop a workflow in Knime using the Weka nodes like SMO reg and Weka predictor. But I'm facing some challenges in using it with SVM because I find that this is not kind of compatible with the usual Knime workflow that I'm using. Is there any specific workflow that I can get to use with the SVM so that I can use these two nodes like SMO reg and Weka predictor?
You mean the support vector machine?
Yes, yes.
He wants to do regression with SVM, I
But
guess.
I think it's for classification only.
Yeah, there is a, I mean, he found a node for, I mean, regression, but I mean, he had some challenges. By the way, the mining node you made by yourself or you downloaded it? There is a mining node under your nodes repository.
Yeah, here is this support vector machine learner and predictor, but it is for classification only. Yeah, so for instance, machine learning training, I think I have something here. So I have here the so here is the partitioning node to train and test data, 80/20. And then I have here support vector machine learner and the predictor. So from my perspective, it is working, but I use it for the binary classification problem only, not for the regression.
Okay.
But maybe I am wrong, yeah, but it is as I guess it should be. Okay. Any other questions?
Hi, can you hear me now?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I was listening on an earphone and then I realized that it was probably hard to hear.
No problem.
So I'm a geographic information scientist. And so a lot of what, this is another Knime question, but a lot of what this looks like reminds me a lot of the types of work we do with Esri software and things along those lines. Have you ever seen applications of this in a geospatial sense?
No experience. But I think there is something. Maybe I saw some. I think I saw something, but have never worked with it. I just try to go into the examples. If you can. Geolocation, is it? Can it be?
Yeah, a lot of, it looks usable. I could, I can see making some interesting things with that.
Then, okay, then if you go to examples, but not on a local space, but example Knime Hub, Knime.com, so you just need to, let's say, double click to, it's not like you don't need to have an account, but then in the visualization is this geolocation, and here are different, but I have never used that, honestly.
Perfect. All righty. Thank you very much. It's really very helpful. Thank you.
Perfect. You're welcome.
Okay, I have a general question about job market. So summer students want to join job market sooner or later. And what you recommend for them to have in their tool set, I mean, the European point of view or, I mean, global point of view? Which skills or knowledge you recommend them to focus more to be, to be good candidates for any job?
In data science, yeah.
Yes.
It's very hard, no? And are you talking about the software or about about the knowledge, like in general? Because
I mean both, if you have time.
You mean like which? Now, sorry, I am now maybe confused, maybe tired, but you mean like what kind of knowledge they should learn, right?
Yes, I mean the knowledge could be a topic or a certain software.
From my perspective, the most demanding, okay, I would start with the basics. So the math, the algebra, and the statistics are the stones, yeah. And then I like the Knime. It's codeless, but still, for me, understanding Python or knowing how to do it in Python, it helped me to understand what's in Knime. And also now the very popular topic is the natural language processing. So to be a good candidate, the job descriptions, then the NLP is now very popular, but it depends what's going to be in 1 year, in 2 years. So it is very hard to say.
Yeah.
But I would really focus on the stones, or the basics. So the basic is math, it's the statistics. And then if you use Python or Knime, I think it's not let's say the key. The key is understanding what's in there, what's behind. I hope I answered your question.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
I got the point.
Perfect, thank you. Okay. So no other questions?
I don't see any questions, but I mean, I think my students have your contact information. So some of them are not here actually now because of different time zones. So they might reach you later. It was our honor. It was very interesting to have you here explaining so many aspects of data science, visualizations, and softwares. Thank you very much.
Thank you
It was
too.
really good talk.
Perfect. Thank you very much for invitation. So it was really pleasure for me to be in your class. So I hope that at least it will give you some direction where you can go with the data analytics or data science.
Thank you very much. Have a great late evening over there.
Yeah. And you have a good day and morning, someone, and so on. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.